Hello YouTube, welcome back to another character analysis video, and today we're doing a character analysis video on Lady, the magical engine. So without further ado, let's get started. So for Lady's persona, it reads, Lady is a small Victorian-style tank engine who is legendary amongst the engines on Sodor. In Thomas and the Magic Railroad, she runs on the titular Magic Railroad, whereas in Calling All Engines, she works on the court. She works high up in the hills and on a quarry near the Skarloey Railway. For her personality, it states that Lady is a kind, wise engine who is respectful to others. She tries her best to help others either directly or through dispensing sage advice. She appears to be friends of Thomas. In Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Lady is a very special engine who holds the secret power of the Magic Railroad. When she moves along the rails, she spreads gold dust with her special powers. She is known to help Thomas and his friends when there is no one else to turn to. And also, Lady is one of the few characters in the series that doesn't have an actual proper basis. Although originally in her concept art for the film, Lady was going to be based upon a Great Western 3041 class, which was coincidentally reused for Emily's Hornby model. And at one point, she was also going to be based upon the Gazelle locomotive, but the production team decided to go with a freelance design for Lady. As for Lady's design, she is a freelance design tank engine with four wheels, side tanks, and a golden smoke box, as well as two big golden lamps on the footplate, as well as no front coupling, and an open cab. For Lady's first appearance in the 2000 Thomas movie, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Lady is basically this movie's damsel in distress type character. Lady basically serves as like a MacGuffin / plot device for the movie. As the movie, it states that Lady is the thing that holds both the Sodor and Shining Time realities together. Even though Magic Railroad isn't canon, I do as Lady is also basically serves as the damsel in distress of this movie that Thomas has to save from Diesel 10. Although for Lady's character, she's quite bland. I really wish that they had expanded on Lady's character more in the movie, and I wish that they had used her more in the TV series to expand her character, and maybe with the whole thing of her being a magical engine, maybe for like a potential rework idea of Lady's character, you could have Lady act rather. You could have Lady act rather energetic and eccentric, kind of like what they did with Marion. Kind of like what they did with the character of Marion, but by having Lady act eccentric and have her be a firm believer in magic and mythical things. Although I do really love Lady's design, as to make her, and for a fun fact, Lady was also the very first female steam engine introduced in the TV series. Although that whole thing was later retconned, as Magic Railroad was pretty much decanonized from the main canon of TTE, and when Emily is introduced, the status of first female steam engine was basically handed over to Emily. Although I do like that Lady's design, and I do love her face. Her face looks very adorable, and also like her design. I like that to make her stand out from the other engines. She has a gold smoke box, as well as a black running board, painted in like all jet black, as well as having color combos of purple, gold, and black. As she also has a gold funnel cap, as well as a purple and black funnel, as well as having as well as having gold buffers and 2 gold lamps on her sides. Uh, 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 as well as having gold pinstriping around her cabin side tanks. Lady, and for a fun fact, Lady is also my mom's favorite Thomas character as well. I've also been interested in Lady ever since I watched Magic Railroad for the first time as a kid, back when I was like 4. Now on to Lady's second and final appearance in Calling All Engines. For Lady's final appearance in the show in the 2005 movie Calling All Engines, Lady doesn't play that much of a big role, but she does but Lady does appear in the dream sequence scene where when Thomas is sleeping during the night, Thomas has a dream where he travels off to the high hills of Sodor and meets both Lady and Rusty, as Lady tells Thomas that the steam engines and the diesels need to work together. Basically, in a way, Lady's basically telling Thomas as well. Basically, Lady's telling Thomas as well as the film to basically get the film's plot moving. I just really love that. I love how subtle that is. And I really wish that in Calling All Engines, I wish that they added a scene at the end of the movie, or after, or the Timoth Sheds is rebuilt and Thomas is sleeping at Timoth Sheds, and then Thomas has another dream about Lady, and Lady is proud of Thomas for getting the steam engines and the diesel engines to put their differences aside and work together. I really wish they added that scene in the movie. And also for a fun fact, I've heard somewhere that Lady was gonna return. That the production team were also considering bringing Lady back in the Great Discovery movie, but however that ultimately didn't happen. Such a shame, though. I really wish they brought back Lady. I also wish that they'd used her after season 9. I also do like how Calling All Engines handles Lady as this imaginary character existing within Thomas's imagination. This is honestly a really good portrayal of Lady, rather than just having her having Lady basically be like the railway's equivalent of a goddess. And I really wish that Lady was used more on the show after this, because I could definitely see all the potential in a character like her. First, some neat little tidbits. Lady's prop is also owned by a campaign known as the Restore the Magic campaign. Although, however, as during the production of Magic Railroad, a life-size prop of Lady was built to interact with all the human characters in the movie. But after the movie, the prop was sold off and kept in a warehouse for a couple years before being bought by somebody and turned into into somebody's Christmas decoration for their house. As Lady had her face removed, as well as being repainted red and green. But eventually the Lady prop was then bought by a campaign called Restore the Magic. Although however, so far progress on restoring the Lady prop has so far been 0.5% successful. And as of current day, the Lady prop is currently stuck inside a warehouse somewhere in Canada. I'm really hoping that the Lady prop will be fully restored to its former glory one day. It's just a shame that a film prop that costs like millions of dollars to make is being mistreated like this. And also the character of Millie, who is the only female narrow gauge engine, whom was introduced in the 2013 Thomas movie King of the Railway, also uses the same whistle sound as Lady. And some fans also theorize that Millie is also the CGI version of Lady, since they both have the same whistle. And honestly, if Lady came back in the CGI series, I would really love to see how an interaction between both Millie and Lady would go. Although Millie has more personality than Lady. Now on to how I would have handled Lady. So for the first thing I would have done about Lady is that after the movie, I would have used Lady in the show and have her be a prominent character. and I would have, and also for some, and also despite Lady's 2 appearances, Lady has gained a lot of popularity in the fandom over the years. By the way, anyways, back to what I was talking about. I would also have Lady be used in the show afterwards, and I would also have her appear in episodes as well. And that's basically about it. I would also have Lady return in the CGI series and have her appear in full CGI. Maybe give Lady an episode of Millie, or better yet, or another idea, give Lady an episode of Hero, since both Lady and Hero were both engines that were once lost but and found and restored, and maybe bring back Stepney in CGI as well, and give Stepney and Lady an episode together. I'm really hoping that Lady will return in the 2026 series. Please, Mattel, bring back Lady. I've also heard that the reason why Lady didn't return in CGI was because Lady was associated with Magic Road, and Mattel wanted to further distance themselves from Magic Road, which is why Diesel 10 as well as Splatter and Dodge stopped. Which is why Diesel 10 didn't appear in the show after season 17, and why Splatter and Dodge were dropped from the Great Race movie. I'm really hoping that Lady returns in the 2026 series, and I hope she gets utilized to her full potential. Anyways, this has been the end of this character analysis video. If you like this video, then go subscribe to my channel. Anyways, bye.